I'm Chuck McBride. I want to take a couple moments to talk about the SafeCom dog training collar. Boy, what a lifesaver. I no longer have to walk a dog for an hour or two before we start a session to settle them down. All I have to do is put the SafeCom dog training collar on, and the dog is perfectly focused for training. It really works. Bad dog behavior causes liability. All you have to do is put the SafeCom collar on, and you'll spend much more time at the dog park than in a courtroom. If you go to safecom.com and click the before and after button, you'll see hundreds of videos that will prove that the SafeCom collar works. You can walk your dog with 2 fingers with the SafeCom dog training collar on. If you got visitor problems, if you have dog reactive problems, if you have anxiety problems, if you have fearful dog problems, just pop the collar on and it stops. Hi, I'm Dog Whisperer Big Chuck McBride, and I'm here with Rose today, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about side-submitting dogs. Now, a lot of people may think that's negative. I don't know, but I sure know that it helps dogs. What humans don't realize is that side-submitting a dog is simply language. It's nothing more to a dog. They don't have an ego to bruise. They don't get mad. When they're side-submitted and they're forced to be calm, and experience calm, then they will follow you. This is just what dogs do. It's their language. It's their world. Now, what are the 3 primary reasons for side submitting? Number 1, to correct or redirect bad behavior. Number 2, we want to make sure that we can utilize it if there's a dangerous situation. And number 3, the most important thing is to establish calm. Remember, when bad behavior occurs, there's always an absence of calm. When good behavior occurs, calm is always prevalent. It's very simple. So if a situation gets to the point where you have to use maximum force, for example, a side submission, you should do it. You're helping the dog. You're just talking to them in their language. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. It took me a long time to really understand that side submission was a language. I really couldn't understand it. You know, I'm so used to my world, the human world. I never conceived that in the dog world it was different, that it's purely dominance which makes you a leader. It is hard to understand it sometimes. On a personal note, I don't like side submitting dogs. It doesn't make me happy. It's not something that I want to do. I'm not like that. I don't like to overpower an animal. I would rather do it other ways. However, I will not let a dog die because I don't want to use a tool that will work just because I don't like it. It's not fair to the dog. In their world, it would always occur because submission in their world is something standard. It's a language that's always used by the pack leader. That's why wild packs are perfect packs. They're always calm. And another thing you have to understand, folks, is the dogs that I deal with, they're not your normal dogs. They're not the nice little lassies that live around the corner, okay? These dogs will kill you. And most of the dogs that I've dealt with were death row dogs. Dogs that had no other chance. No other trainer could train them. So when we have a tool like side submission, we don't just want to put it outside the box because we don't like it. We may be saving a dog's life. It's sort of like when your kid does something real bad when they were young and you got over emotional, you got excited, you might have even swatted them, okay? But understand in that particular case, it was something that was endangering the child's life and that was necessary. It's the same way with dogs. Some dogs require more dominance in order to follow. Side submission tells the dog very simply in its language, no. It tells the dog in its language, I want you to become calm. And thirdly, it tells the dog in its language when the process is completed that I want you to follow me. And this is what a dog requires to find a leader. People may get the impression that side submission is a big part of what I do. In reality, it's not. Look, I'm human. I don't like to side submit dogs. I don't like to be on top of them. I don't like that. I don't even like to keep dogs in cages. The fact is, I cannot mispronounce their language. When they do something really bad or when they're really out of control, I have to let them know that I don't like that energy. And the only way you can do that is with side submission. Some people may be wondering, is it okay to side submit any dog? No. I never side submit fearful or nervous dogs. This could cause more trauma. It's better to take a slower approach where they gain trust over time. Dogs suited for side submission are going to be your dominant, high dominant, and or aggressive dogs. Remember, in any situation where there may be danger, you may have to side submit no matter whether the dog is fearful or no matter whether the dog is aggressive. Alright guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. We're going to show you how to safely and comfortably side submit your dog, okay? Now before you start, it might be a good idea in some cases when it's necessary to use a muzzle. You can also use knee pads that might make it a little easier for you. And I actually have ties for my hands just to make sure that my wrists are supported when I have rough cases. Most cases won't require that, but it's always good to be safe. In addition, it's always good to keep a leash on your dog, just in case the dog gets up on a rough submission and tries to go towards someone, okay? So this is pretty simple. We want our dog up. Of course, Rose here is a perfect dog, but we're just showing the side submission. Now, there are going to be examples of rougher side submissions after I show you this. That's so you can pay attention to head control and top control over the dog. If you have head control and you have top control over the dog, you're always going to be in command. You're always going to be on top. What I do is I always feel around. First thing I do is I get head position, head control. And I normally take my fist right here and put my thumb underneath the collar, and I hold right there in the neck area of the dog. That way the dog can't come this way, he can't come that way, because you're controlling his head movement. It can only go forward as long as you have a fist right there and your thumb underneath the collar. If you don't have a collar on, well, you're going to have to grab the skin, okay? So, first things first, head control. The second thing I'm looking for is how to get the dog down on its side relatively easy. So what I always do is I always try to find that one leg that will give me leverage or momentum over the dog. In this case, it's the back leg right here. I'm going to push it in. The dog is going to move forward. I'm going to use my chin to help. That's what I call using the momentum of the dog. I've never taken down my dog before. I've never had a need to side submit. So she's helping you guys out today too. Now I've got the dog in front, facing away from me, and I've got head control, so the dog can't move. The only thing that I have to worry about now is the other part of the body, or the other side of the body. What I do is I take this hand and I put it right into that little crux area here on the hind quarter of the dog. If you can see my thumb, it goes right into that little crux area. And then I got them. They can't move. After that, the process is pretty simple. We want to give massage to the dog, always maintaining head control until the dog is totally calm. Now in a lot of these cases, you're going to find that the legs are going to be stiff, the dog may be licking its lips, But what we do is we just massage until the dog is totally calm. Legs aren't stiff anymore. The dog isn't licking its lips. And all good side submissions, all the good ones, always end when you can raise your hand up and the dog still stays down. That's our goal. So let's do it again so we can get a better idea in real time. So first, head control. Thumb underneath the collar and grab it with the fist. The fist prevents the head from moving this way. So the dog can't come this way and bite you, and the dog can't come this way and bite you. The next thing you want to do is you want to find the vulnerable part on the dog, or where you can make it happen, and use the dog's momentum to help take the dog down, which is easier on the dog. In a lot of my videos, you'll see that I always lead down when I take the dog down with my arm to patent the blow of the dog hitting the ground. Rose is uncooperative for a second. We're going to get her back up, and we're going to find that leg right here. We're going to push it in. Use our chin to take the dog down. Once the dog is down, we position the dog, preferably by keeping head control. It's not really necessary with Rose, but we're going to do it anyway. So I've got head control, then I get hind control. Now if the dog's flailing and trying to get up, you correct. Shh, just like that. Shh, real gentle. You have to remember, when you're side submitting dogs, it's got to be gentle. You can't side submit a dog if your energy is negative. Your energy can only be calm, firm. Side submission is a language to a dog. However, a dog can't understand its language unless it has preconditions. One of them is that the dog must see the person exhibiting calm, firm energy, the pack leader. If that doesn't occur, the dog doesn't understand its own language. For example, let's say there's person A and person B. They're both American, they both understand English, but for some reason, B cannot understand A. So A dominates B, then B can understand English. That's how we have to look at it in the dog world. Once we have head control, we have hind control, we correct it until the dog is calm, we've massaged. And remember, a good side submission, you can take your hands up and the dog won't move. And that's how you do a side submission. And remember, side submission is not something people should go crazy over. You see, a lot of people, all they want to do is side submit dogs. I side submit very few dogs. It's rare. It's a high tier correction, and it's used when appropriate, and it's normally not necessary. Now, I want you guys to watch the videos attached to this segment. They're going to show you more severe type of submissions. What I want you to notice is that I always keep the head control and I always keep the top control. If you keep the head control and the top control, you will always be able to control the dog. Okay? Let's go. I want you to take a deep breath.
My wife is on the way. Yes.
get this out. She cannot do this. See those stiff arms? That's all tension. Walk the dog around. Okay, stop. Now we're going to let her up. You're going to take over. Okay? I forgot, I can't get you. You guys don't want to be in it, right? Okay. Got it? Okay. Put that hand there. And this one right there. And just relax. Just like that when he does that. As long as you keep the back of the head here, relax. As long as you keep that, right here, that grip right there, go ahead, grab. Okay? As long as you control that head, he can't do anything. Sit. Sit. Shh. Okay? Dog. Okay?
Yeah, we know.
So I correct. Look at that. Okay? Just to calm the dog down. He's such a big boy. Grab the head. Hey. You move back. Here we go.
I can get that leg.
Yeah, grab the leg.
Come on.